Everybody, welcome back to another drawing tutorial. So today we're going to be doing Midoriya versus Bakugo. So it's from one of the covers of the manga. I think it's issue number 119, I think, if you're looking for it. So they're fighting. Bakugo has a hold of Midoriya's face, and then Midoriya is like wrestling with his arms and stuff like that. So it's two characters, two of their faces. Bakugo here, Midoriya here. So we're going to start with Bakugo's face right here, and we're going to start with his nose. So it's fairly simple. It's just a pointy sort of triangular nose sticking out from here. So we're going to go curve it down like that to a point, and then we're going to bring it back this side like so. So it's face in profile. So we'll do the line of his face the whole way down, right? So we'll go back up and we'll do his forehead just here. So we'll go, he's a bit of a wrinkle on his nose just here, like that. And another one that curves around like so. And then this comes out for his brow. So like he's frowning and stuff, like that. And then this is going to travel back up towards his hair, just about here. So we're going to join those together. So I put a little dot there, and then I'm going to just join those together like so. Right? So now in where this wrinkle is, we have just the start of his eye, right? So it's just a kind of a curved line just sort of up here. And then this is going to become like his top eyelid. So it's going to go all the way up to about there. Right, so imagine that's like his top eyelid, so we can like thicken it up a bit. Like so. And then we can just see his kind of line for his eyeball just here beside his nose. So it's just a skinny line curving that way. And then in there he has a iris and a pupil, and they're very small. It's just a sort of a curving thin circle, like so. And he's looking across here, so we just have a dot just about there. Like that. Then his bottom eyelid, so this hits hair, so it comes straight down this way. Then we go diagonal down towards his nose, down this way. And then this is going to come across for his eyelid just here. Goes underneath his eye and then comes down here. And you can thicken this line up as well, just to give it a bit more depth and character. Kind of like that. And then he has an eyebrow just above this line, so it's coming right into this point here where his brow is, and this is going to curve around, and it goes like for nearly straight up. So it goes up and up. Hits his hair just up about there. And it's real thin on the top, but it gets a little bit wider as we go down. Maybe have a section where you can color his hair color inside. Maybe a little bit, or it could just be black. A thin black line. Just going to thicken up his top eyelid a little bit more. And then there's just some hatching lines just on his cheek, just to show that he's kind of being aggressive and he's under pressure and stuff like that. Now, so this down at the nose, we go around to his lip, to his bottom lip, sorry, his top lip. This is his top lip down here underneath his nose. And now this is going to curve around, starting like this. We're just under his eye here. Gonna curve around. So that's his top lip, and then this comes down for the side of his mouth, right there, and then this comes across for his bottom lip, just here. So it looks kind of like an open mouth now, but we're going to put teeth in there, which will make it be closed. So the teeth, we have one line for teeth just coming down diagonal this way. And then it pops out a little bit and then goes down to his bottom lip just there. And then we have some lines coming across the center, some various dots and lines. So you could jump, leave a gap, do a sort of a zigzag line, and across there, just for his teeth. And then on the top here we have his gum line. So we have it's a curved line with a little V, and then another curved line, just showing the top of his teeth. So a couple of those, and then it's dark in here. Like so. And we can do a gum line along the bottom as well. So the dark sort of, we can see less of his gum on the bottom. So there's just little bits that stick up. This, and they get smaller as we go across. There's some hatching just on this side, just to show some shadow. And then a line just for his cheek, just here. So if I go too fast, hit pause, remember. And I would say it's a complicated one, so use a pencil and an eraser, just so you can fix any errors. His bottom lip curves around here. This curves around to his chin. And then we go up to his jaw. Just there. And then there's a shadow underneath that jaw. So this comes down to sort of a triangle sort of shape underneath his neck. So this will come this way. And then it'll come across just underneath his chin, just here. Curves down, like so, around to a shadow. And in there is all dark. Yeah, so we have just his Adam's apple, a line for his Adam's apple just here, sticks out, comes back, stops about there because it meets his t-shirt. But we'll go up and finish the rest of his head before we deal with all the stuff down here. So, beside his eye, so we'll go across and do his ear and some of his hair. So beside his eye here we have some hair spikes coming down here, spiking up and down like this, in that Bakugo style. Small spikes, and they have like hairlines just at the top, like that. Small one next to it. Another one here. You can add hairlines to those spikes as you go. And then there's a bigger one, comes down here, just beside his ear. Comes up, add some hairlines. Small one. Up to there. And then his ear comes out from that one, so it's going to curve around, like so. And it's going to come down around to just about here. Let's see, just about here. Maybe a bit further actually. It's just in line with the top of his nose, just there. So it actually comes down to about here. And then there's a shadow just coming down for his neck, just a pointy shadow, just there. And then we have all bones and ligaments inside there for his ear shapes. Curved line across like that. Comes down long. Bit of a bump. And then comes back that way. And then there's some lines inside. You could do ears lots of different ways. There's no one way to do to draw them anyway. You can do them your own way. The easiest way is just like a letter J. This is the slightly more complicated way. It has some hatching, some shadow in there. And then he has some hair that comes out the back of his neck. Just some spikes. Some hairlines on it. And one that goes off my page there. And then another spike in here. And maybe some more here. Yeah, so the rest of his hair then comes around his head. So we'll start at his nose. And we'll go spike. We'll start loads of spikes. With hairlines inside. So one. Another one. There. Another one beside it. And then some hairlines inside. Another one just here. Another one beside it. Double one this time. Next one going out this way. Another one this way. Bigger one here. Like so, and I'll add just some lines for hair. Just along. And we're going to go up and around his head. So we'll go spike up. Spiking up this way. Smaller ones, bigger ones. Going all the way around his head. I'll stop every now and then just so you can maybe pause the video and see what I'm doing. Just adding some hairlines. Smaller one here, bigger one. Some small ones. Like this, and we're going around. One right up to the top of the page. Double one coming down. So you can add some hairlines then as well as you go, or you could do all this at the end when you have all the spikes done. There's one sticking up on its own just here, and then the rest go around his head. And then off the page there. There's some hairlines just here. So then there is some spikes just in the center part of his head as well. So we have, we did this one just on his forehead. So this comes up to his eyebrow just here, like so. And then we have another one that just comes up just to here, like that. There's another one that comes off it, comes down to here. Spikes up like so. And we have another one that comes out to here. up. Another one comes out there, spikes back. It's the same sort of pattern, it's just inside his head. It's like another layer. Like this. Another small one here. And then one more layer that comes into this section just here. So we're going to spike here. Spike back. Another one. Spiking up. Smaller one here. A couple of hairlines here. I'll add hairlines to these now in a second. And then we have one comes down there. Comes back this way. Another one here. This one comes back that way. And then one more down. Up there. And the last one just sticking up here. Now I'll just add some hairlines where I missed them. Just straight lines coming from the tips of those hair spikes. Like so. Something like that. Okay, so now we can, so his arm is coming out of his face pretty much. So we can see, so a line for his forearm, so it comes out of his, close to his nose, so we can just see his bicep, just a tiny line there for his bicep. And then this is going to come out, his forearm's going to come out from that, and it meets Midoriya's thumb, which has a hold of his arm. So we got to stop about there. Now, so that's the bottom of his arm, and then his bicep keeps going, sort of down past his nose there, out the other side, and it meets his shirt that's coming diagonal, like this. And Midoriya has a hold of that shirt that he has on. So the other side of that, it's like a tank top, so it's like a string vest, real thin. And then this is going to curve around and go back up over his other shoulder like that. Just there. And the other side of that string that goes over his shoulder comes down there. And then inside these gaps we can see some of his muscles. So he has a neck muscle just here. Like so. Another one comes across here. And then another line maybe just there. And then we can see the opposite side. So his collarbone is curving up underneath this shadow. Just there. And then his other neck muscle just here. So they're smaller because they're on the other side of his body. Now we can see a line coming down from his chin, just here. And then another bit of his bicep in there. So now Midoriya, we can see Midoriya's fist, his closed fist. We can just see about 3 of his fingers, his thumb and his index and his ring finger, or his middle finger, sorry. Just here, right? So we'll do his index first. So it comes across here, bumpy sort of line, and it curves around for his knuckle just there, like so. You can add lines for sort of knuckles and skin and things coming off that, like this. And then his middle finger curves down from that one. This goes down there off my page. And there's some hatching and some like skin lines and stuff just along the top of that knuckle. And then his thumb comes out from the other side, so he's got a hold of it, like he's like gripping it really, really hard. So this thumb comes out like that, and then it goes down, and then comes all the way down to his hand and off to his wrist, off down the bottom of the page. And then there's all those fold lines for the folds of the thumb and the hand in there. And another curve line just here. Something like that. And then Bakugo has sort of lines that just show that the folds of this outfit that he's wearing, just going into Midoriya's hand there, it just sort of shows that it's being pulled this direction. And of course there's all shadows and things inside that, but you don't really have to add that. You could just color it black and leave some parts white. Now, so that's Bakugo done, right? So we'll go over and do Midoriya's arm and hand and Bakugo's hand, right? So here we see Midoriya's thumb, right? It's got a hole. It's like starts like this, and then it's going to come around. It's like a thin circle or like a bean sort of shape, like that. And then there's a thumbnail in there. So he's got his thumb, the top of his thumb. Coming around, something like that. And then his index finger is just here. It's got a hold of Bakugo's arm. It's up like this, and there's 3 fingers we can see. So there's one here, next one beside it, next one over here, and the third one we can barely see. It's just in under here. Just comes up under his hair, just there. So then each of these fingers come up to a knuckle just on top here, just a line across, and then this goes down, and then this comes down this side, and then the finger line just comes down here. And then we do the same on the other side. So we have the knuckle on top. We're looking something like this. And then this line comes down the other side like that. And then a finger line just down here. And then the next one goes across as well, like so. Comes down to here. And then we can see the other side of the finger just there. And they're like darker inside in here, thicker lines, just because there's shadows inside. Yeah, so each of them has a fingernail. So one here. And then some sort of lumps and sort of skin, knuckle lines, kind of things, just to make them look a bit more finger-like. And then next fingernail, just here. Just a line across here, just there. Like so. Next one, just across here. that. Knuckle and skin lines. Like so. And then, so, Bakugo's hand comes out from here then, so it's going to go from this finger, so from the fingernail here, so it's going to come up to his hand, so from the fingernail it's going to go here, we have a little bump for skin, like so, and then it's going to come up diagonal to a knuckle in his hand, like that. And then the next one comes across there as well. Like this. And then this is going to come up to his finger, which is going into Midoriya's hair about here. So his finger's like ends here and it curves around this side. So it comes out top and bottom. Here's the bottom portion. And then we're going to bring it down to a knuckle about here. And then this is going to come down to those other knuckles that we just drew there. So it's going to go diagonal, like so. Comes to a knuckle about there. And then we have a hand bone. So one of his bones of his hand just there come down to about where his wrist is. And there's another one of those about here. There's some lines for his skin on his knuckles there, and maybe one just here as well. And some lumps and bumps just to show some of those wrist details, and maybe some hatching and stuff just here. Now, so this finger is going to go like a letter C all the way around to his thumb. So we're going to go down this way. Comes out for a piece of skin just there. We have a line just for his knuckle just here about. And then this curves around like a letter C, so it's like to his thumb, so it's like this kind of thing, you know. He's got a hold of his face, pumping all the way down to the thumb. Thumb has various lumps and bumps on it. Goes around the top of that thumb, back the other side, like so. And then this is going to come down to the palm of his hand. Comes down like this. So for the palm, this portion, and then it curves that way. And then it comes down, around, and goes back up to Midoriya's thumb. So we have a bump just there. And then the next part goes up to the thumb. And imagine it joins back to this wrist just here. And then there's a wrist bone just here. And maybe some like hatching just to show some shadow underneath that hand. Just there. And then he has a thumbnail. Just in here. Some lines for knuckles, just like that. And there's some skin lines just coming off this hand just here. Like so. Something like that. Now, so Midoriya's mouth and eye are just in between these sections of Bakugo's hand because he has a hold of his face. So we'll do his chin first. So coming down, we're going to go down this direction. Coming down from this part of his hand. Then we're going to go diagonal. Then we're going to go straight across. And we have a shadow underneath his chin. Coming out. It's like that triangular shape, similar to Bakugo's, maybe a bit smaller, that's all. And that's dark inside. And then his neck comes down like so. And then in here we have his mouth. So we do the edges first. So we'll go around the edge. Comes down like so. Comes around the bottom. Slightly curving. And then this is going to go up like so. And then back underneath his hand. In there. And then in there, like Bakugo, we can see some lumps and bumps for teeth. So we can just see the corner that's dark. And then these are going to like dot and go up and down, zigzags. Some are pointy maybe. Some dots there. And then we can see his gum on the bottom. So we got these sort of dark triangle sections just here for his gum line. Like so. So you're just adding just small little details. There's some hatching lines just on the side of his teeth, just here to show a bit of a shadow. Just like that. Now, so we can do his eye. So his eye then, we have curved line comes just out from Bakugo's thumb, just here. This comes up then, hits a piece of hair, and then goes diagonal that way. So there's like a hair spike right here. And then the rest of his eye is going to curve around this portion like this. And of course maybe it's a bit thicker than the other lines because it's his eye line. And then he has just a dot for his eye right there. Then his eyebrow comes out from this portion of Bakugo's hand, so it comes up, goes across the top of his eye, real pointy. Bit thicker on the bottom. Goes up under his hair here. And then there's some hair spikes that curve out, go right down to his eye here. Come back up. Another one there. Goes around underneath his Bakugo's finger, just this part. And then comes into his hand, just about here. So this is all hair in here then. And then there's some lines just to show Midoriya's frowning kind of just in there. This is all hair, it's all black. Midoriya's black and sort of green hair, depending if it's the anime or the manga you're watching or reading. Next. So he has some hatching on his cheek again. Show he's under pressure. And then there's some dots on his cheeks for freckles. Like so. And there's a line just from Bakugo's thumb for the other side of his cheek because he's squishing it up. He's like crushing his face. And then the rest of Midoriya's hair comes down to his ear just here. So we're going to go spiking. A bit easier than Bakugo's hair. They're sort of more wavy. And this one comes up around his ear. Comes to his ear right here and then goes around like so. And then there's all ear lines inside there. This. Get some shadows and things. And then we have some more hair just coming down here the back of his neck, just there. Then we can see his shoulder just here. So it's going to curve around off the page and then come down to the bottom where his t-shirt is, just a line for the edge of his t-shirt there. And goes off that way then. And then there's some fold lines, hatching and fold lines, just to show that it's wrapping around his shoulder, not just sitting flat, like so. And then we can see his other arm and his knee. So his knee just comes out from his t-shirt just here. We're going to bring it up around. So they're in the middle of a fight, so his knee is like right up in Bakugo's chest. Trying to get some leverage, push him back. It was a cool fight though. Can't wait to see the next one. This is from the second fight, the second time they fought. And All Might stepped in. No spoilers, sorry. So his t-shirt then, his other arm, so his other shoulder's about here, comes across like so, lumping and bumping, comes down to a t-shirt, and he's got a skin tight top on here that wraps around his bicep, like this. So 2 layers of clothes, and this one comes down around his arm, just like that. And then there's like some fold lines and stuff coming down around that. Fair play to anyone who's followed along this far. It's probably a long video. Just here, adding fold lines. And then the rest of his arm just comes up here to where his fingers are, like so. And then the other side stops that it meets his hand here. And there's some bones, some details just for his wrist bones, like that. Kind of some hatching coming across here. And there's a shadow just under this side. And just a line for the underside of his thumb there. And some more just hatching, just curving along, just here. And here too. Just trying to define a bit more of that arm. Bakugo has some shadows and things on his arm too. Just some hatching. You don't have to add much of that. You can if you want. But if you're colouring, of course, you don't need to. But it is fun sometimes. Okay, so now all we got to do is finish Midoriya's hair. So we missed, there's a bead of sweat just here. A little bead of sweat there. And then Midoriya's hair is going to come out from Bakugo's hand. So we're going to go up this way, like so. Starting here, and we're going to go the whole way around his head. And some of it goes off the page. We're going to go here, back there. There's another one in here. Coming up, like so. Various hair spikes coming around his head. Here. Another one sticking up here. Sorry if I got my head in the shot there. Another one here. Like so. So they kind of look like shark fins. Just facing different directions, bumping and bending. Remember, if it doesn't look exactly like mine, guys, don't worry. Hair moves. It doesn't always have to be in the one position or exactly the same position as the hair spike that I'm doing. Just got to get the general shape. And this is going to go down around all the way down. These go off my page here. There's some that come back in, some various spikes, but then we're going to go down to his neck and finish the back part. Of course, if you had room, you could fit in the rest of those spikes, but I zoomed up close to the face to get the details of the face. And that is it, pretty much. Of course, you could colour in Midoriya's hair dark black if you wanted. But that's the basic idea, how to draw Bakugo versus Midoriya. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.